Good morning. It's Vijay here. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. Today is Wednesday, 28th May 2025. Yesterday was one of those really very volatile days. Extreme volatility within the hour, and it was it could be well captured by saying yesterday markets were volatile, followed by turbulence, and followed by aerobatics, and then followed by paper bags, which means people were puking. Now, this is happening without any reason. There was no reason for volatility to be so severe. The Asian markets were steady. There was no US markets. The European markets were good the previous day, and the US futures were positive. Yet, we suddenly saw enormous amount of volatility with no particular news. And just to give an example, just to show what exactly the volatility was, the market opened, dropped about 260 points on the Nifty, went up 330 points, and made a first hour high cross. Normally, intraday traders will put their stop losses for short selling at the first hour high, and intraday traders will expand their long positions above the first day hour high. So they expanded here, and then suddenly it crashed and broke the first hour low. Generally, first hour high and first hour low are very important for intraday traders. So first, the bulls would have been butchered, then the bear should have been butchered here when it went up 330 points. Then the bull should have been butchered here again when it would have broken the first hour low. And then it recovered another 115 points. Total move was about 1060 points, and with no rhyme or reason. I feel what is happening is people have now become desperate. People want to participate in every up and down move, and the market forces are taking them out of the market. Sooner or later, you'll see a lot of people getting out of the market. That's what happened in October, November, December of last year. It happened also in February of this year. And as we go along, more and more traders are getting out of the market or being thrown out of the market, especially the option either buyers or sellers. Okay, with all this, what is the cues today? We have a Nifty which has fallen down after 2 days of going up. Mid cap and small cap outperformed the Nifty index. In fact, the overall breadth was okay. It was 1:1, almost you can say 1:1. 9 declines for every 8 advances, which meant that this game was played only in the Nifty and only in the options. So option trading is one of the most riskiest. I have myself burned my fingers. I wouldn't advise you to do option trading. At best, you can do futures, but people want to do only options. They want to, go behind gurus who teach them options. The gurus themselves make no money or have heavy losses. PSU Bank was the top sectoral gainer. Nifty Realty Index did very well for the third consecutive section. It advanced. Incidentally, PSU Bank Index slowly and steadily it is going up. That looks very interesting for the next 3, 4, 6 months. Pharma also advanced for the second consecutive session. Laurus Lab was good. Mankind was good. And then FMCG was the top sectoral loser led by ITC and United Spirits. ITC, there was a rumor that BAT is likely to offload, and that rumor seems to have come true by the end of the day. But during the day, ITC also exhibited great amount of volatility and then finally closed close to the lows of the day. Nifty IT snapped a 2 session gaining streak. It came down again. The sector which I'm very bearish on, IT and FMCG. Auto and Nifty Metal also snapped a 2 session gaining streak. Basically, there were very few gainers yesterday as far as the sectoral indices were concerned, but broad market was okay. Nifty Bank index was down about 0.5%. Mainly ICICI Bank and Axis Bank drove it down. FIS did not buy too much, about 350 crores. DIS bought about 10,100 crores. I don't know what the 10,100 crores is all about because I am not able to see any block deals. But nevertheless, it's a majestic figure of 10,450 crores. So if you look at global markets, Dow jumped about 740 points. S&P rose about 100 points, so by 2.1%. Nasdaq gained 2.5% because of Trump delaying the 50% EU tariff. Nvidia led the Nasdaq. It rose 3.2% ahead of earnings. The 10-year Treasury yield dropped by 4.44%. Just 3 days ago, it was closing at 4.6. And then DAX also closed higher. Then gold was steady, silver was steady, Brent oil slightly down at $64 per barrel, dollar index was at 99.5. So there is commodities, as I said, Brent was steady, gold steady, and silver also steady. So that is as far as the commodities. How about the earnings? Yesterday, quite a bit of earnings came. Hindustan Copper, which we own, came up with a spectacular return earnings, 50% increase in net profit. That should augur well for people who hold it. We intend to hold it for a little longer time. Bharat Dynamics also, a defense stock, did well. ITI did well. EID Parry and RCF were mixed. NMDC and LIC came up with so-so results. LIC looks interesting, but overall it was not that great. NMDC dropped in profits. So ITC in focus today. BAT will sell about 2.5% stake via blocks, and the offer price is 400. Yesterday it closed about 432. Today, of course, it will be ex dividend. So therefore, if you take out that, I think 400 rupees, 410 it may go. Offer size is huge at 11,600 crores. Last time there, when ITC sold, there was good demand because the institutions, especially domestic institutions, did not have too much of ITC in their portfolios. So they got it at 400, looked cheap, but it's more than a year, and yet ITC is struggling at around this 400 zone. So nothing was gained by the institutions which bought heavily last year, and I don't know whether they will come forward to buy, whether they'll have the inclination, because also their ITC has not performed anything during the year as far as the price is concerned, and as far as also the performance is concerned. The other stocks to watch will be Tata Steel. So they're seeking compensation of 757 crores. They filed a case in Delhi High Court. HBL Engineering, they received an order for about 102 crores from IRCON. And Bharat Forge, their High Court, Delhi High Court has set aside an arbitral award of 77 crores. So that should add some zing to the prices. So you will have Bharat Forge, Tata Steel, HBL Engineering, ITC looking, which will be volatile, and which probably some of them may do well. So what are the things which we need to watch? Macros, industrial production, the IIP numbers are coming today, but after markets, then as far as earnings are concerned, Nifty, nothing is coming on Nifty. The others, Suven Pharma will be interesting to watch. Cummins India, Bata has not been doing too well. We need to observe what it will show this time. IRCTC at one time a prominent stock. Again, it may be so. Granules looks like some interesting results are there. Yesterday there was heavy buying in granules. Natco Pharma, Avanti Feeds. Avanti Feeds may be a big winner in this US-India trade deal, is what the rumor is. National Fertilizer, Heidelberg Cement is another big company. We'll see how cement companies are doing. They're not doing that good, but that is maybe it's highly oversold, the cement sector. So Heidelberg may surprise. Sale will be an interesting thing to watch. Birlasoft also, I think, may come up with good results, but it is an IT sector. So at one time, we used to own Birlasoft as well as Sale. We don't own both of them, but it is worthwhile looking at it. So we have had this volatility. I'm hoping that there will be no volatility, but then it is like the captain saying, you can relax now, ladies and gentlemen. We are through all of that rough turbulence, but if you observe, half of the plane is out. What definitely has happened yesterday, and I would be very, very careful in how I go about trading in futures and options. Anyway, we are not doing, but today will be cautious, buy on decline, and usual stocks of pharma. Then we have cement. I would like to look at it. Then autos and Reliance and some private sector banks. These are our general list of stocks where we trade every day. Touchwood. Yesterday, incidentally, was one of the best days of intraday trading. We are very thankful to God because it was definitely the worst day for trading for a lot of people. But yesterday it was the best day for us. I don't know, touchwood, one of those rare times when we really did extraordinarily well. I would give all credence to God's wishes. So whatever you do today, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.